I want to show you some ways of customizing how we navigate in the browsers in this video. Now, the way it works by default is each part will remember the pathway that you have set, which category, which attribute type, and even which attribute assignment you have selected. So for example, I'm in part 1 now. If I switch to part 2, it switches to what I have in there. And if I go back to 1, it remembers the assignment. So there, let's say I choose that one. It'll remember it like that. And that's generally very useful, a good way to work. You'll want different things in each part if you're working multi-timbrally in your synthesizer. But let's look at another scenario. Let's say I'm working on a tune and I need a Fender Rhodes sound. I'm not sure which Fender Rhodes sound I need, and I want to audition a bunch of them and see which one works best in my arrangement. Well, what we can do is synchronize the browser so that we get the same display in the different parts. To do that, we go into the settings over here, and I'm going to enable browser synchronization. So let's say I want to search my keyboards, and I want to even customize my fields over here. I want to search by author. I know I like Eric Persing's electric pianos. I'm just not sure which one. I'm going to change that attribute type to author, and then from that choose the assignment of Eric Persing. And here I'm going to switch this attribute type from genre, and I'm going to put this one to type. And the assignment is electric piano. And I'm going to leave the complexity at all. So now I have a subset of the different pianos. So let's say I load this one in. And I like it, but I'm not sure. I might like one of the other ones better. Well, now when I switch to other parts, it maintains not only my selections here, but even the customized fields that I've set up here. So I can quickly go through them and load different ones into each part. And then quickly audition in my arrangement and see which one I like better simply by switching the parts. So that's a great way to work in this sort of context. Now, further to this, what we can do is disable the category sensitive attributes. And let me show you what that does. Now, you'll recall in the last video, I showed you that when we select different categories of sounds, the different attribute types update to display what's relevant for that category. Like, for example, hybrid organic, it goes type, genre, complexity, bass, type, model, technique. If I go back to keyboards, we have type, genre, complexity. These are the defaults. But what I can do is customize this by disabling category-sensitive attributes. And let's say I want to view now all of the Eric Persing sounds. I'm going to go by author and go Eric Persing. And what I can do is whatever category I switch to now, it's going to maintain author, genre, complexity, the 3 defaults that I have set up here, and Eric Persing. So I can quickly view all Eric Persing's sounds. So that's one way of customizing how you work by attribute, by navigating in a custom manner like that. In this case, I chose author, but you could easily choose some other type of attribute that you want to search by. So just to summarize briefly, we can synchronize the browser between the different parts, and that way we'll get the same display when we switch parts. And we can further synchronize the custom attributes that we have set up here between the different categories by disabling this category sensitive attributes button. Now, getting back to this example of wanting to audition some Rhodes pianos, so let's say I want to try it out in my arrangement now. Just to digress from this for a moment, we can go to the multi-page and go to live mode. And if I turn on live mode, we'll see I have different pianos loaded into some of the different slots, and I can, just by clicking on the mouse, audition them quickly and not have to worry about what MIDI channel I'm on or what track is selected in my arrangement. So I can play along and see what's going to work best. That's just a quick little teaser on what we can do in live mode, and that's just a very small part of what we can do, but we'll get back to that. Now, getting back to the browser, I want to talk about another way of organizing how we navigate and manage our patches, and that's got to do with the project function over here. Now, put simply, creating a project is a way of creating a custom category here that you can create your own hierarchy for and have your own sound stored in. Now, some ideas on how you can use projects. You go under here to create projects and show and delete them. But what you can do is create projects based on how you work. Let's say, for example, you're a film or TV composer. You can create a project for each cue if you want to quickly be able to recall all the sounds for each individual cue. Let's say you need to make some changes after some director's notes. Or for TV series, let's say you're scoring some different characters or some different episodes. You can create projects so you can organize your sounds however you need that'll suit you so you can recall them quickly. Let's say you're running a studio and you have a couple of different groups and you're recording some original tunes. You can create projects for each artist and have his sounds stored in there, or even for each song on an album, so you can store and recall and quickly add or subtract to sounds that are stored with that project that'll be used on that specific song. Let's say in my case, I want to create a project and I want to store a bunch of nice Rhodes pianos that I like that I might want to recall later. Let's say in a month from now on another project, I want to have quick access to the Rhodes pianos that I know that I like. So I'm going to create a project and I'll call it EK Pianos. So now you'll see here that it appears here. This is my EK piano project. Again, your flip menu will appear probably at the bottom. It's because of my screen resolution. So what I can do now is navigate to the sounds that I want to add to that. So let's say I'm going to go to my keyboards, Eric Persing, Electronica, or let's say I'm going to go back here to type and go to electric pianos, and I want to store that one, let's say. Well, all I need to do now is go to here and click on EK Pianos, and now you'll see there'll be a little check mark next to it. That means that sound is associated with the EK Pianos project. Let's say I want this one as well. All right, so I'm going to go to Project and go to EK Pianos, and of course you can have a long list of projects here. Right now I only have one because that's what I just created. And let's say I'm going to go to Strange Keyboards, and I might want this one too. So I'm going to add that one to my EK Pianos. And let's say I want to check out some other ones as well. Let's say I'll go to Scott Frankfurt and go to some of his pianos. Nice, that's a nice one. So I'll click my project menu and tick EK Pianos, and they'll all be associated with that project. Some other ones. Let's try this one. So now I have various pianos that are from different areas in the library, and I can view them now in my project view. So to do that, I can switch here to show projects, and it'll automatically switch the category over here to show the projects, and it'll show all the projects I have available. And right now there's only that EK Pianos project because that's all I've created, and there are my sounds. And I can also switch to the project from this drop-down menu here. I can alternate between the stock factory categories and any custom grouping of sounds that I've created on my own, known as projects. So you can have sounds belong to multiple projects, and all you need to do is select them and tag them in the different projects, and you can easily remove a sound from a project. Let's say I want to remove that one. I'll just uncheck it there, and it's gone. It's no longer part of that project, and I can delete the entire project just by clicking over here, delete project, and that's my only one, so I'll delete that one. And it's prompting me with a message saying that it's going to basically delete the tagging. Nothing's going to be erased from the hard drive. The sounds are all there. Basically, projects are just another system of tagging. So I'm going to go OK, and the project will be gone. And there we go. So some ideas on how to organize and navigate your sounds. See you for more in the next video.